Ford, North Carolina. The 30, Riley Allen out of Kennedale, Texas. 31, Chase Yenser, one of those riders working his way up through the ranks, like we said there on that number 31 machine.
Williams out there at 32. Andrew Williams from Danville, Virginia. 34 of Travis Honnet from Cato Mills, Texas. 35. You got Patrick Murphy out there. 37 of Michael LaCour. The 39 of Grant Russell. The 42 of Jack Chambers. The 44, Justin Kokinas out there, as well as the 46 of Gage Gadness. The 47 of Joe Shimoda. The 50 of Manuel Marino. 51, Jace Kessler. 52, Ethan Mann. The 53 of Lane Allison. The 54, Tommy Lee Clare. 55, Caden Metz. 56 of Stephen Hooker. 60 of Hunter Layton.
Well, the 63, Pierce Brown, grabbing the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award. He's got the 31 right behind him right now, Chase Yenser. Other riders include the 66 of Blake Fisher out of Imperial, Pennsylvania. 71, Griffin Maxwell from Jamestown, Ohio. 74, Dylan Swartz from Alpine, California. The 76, Trevor Maley from North Canton, Ohio. 77, Jackson Gray from Forsyth, Georgia. 78, Clay Quick out of Burleson, Texas. 79, Landon Rapp from Bell River, Illinois. 91, Orion Gregory from Stephen City, Virginia. The 92, Trevor Spencer out of Spring, Texas. 94, Kimball Jett out of Norwood, Louisiana. And the 99 of Colton Gorby out of Challery, Pennsylvania. That is your field of 42 in the 85 9-11. Once again, early lead, the 63 KTM Pierce Brown out of Sandy, Utah. He's backed by West Coast Chill, KTM, Orange Brigade, Thor, Dunlop, FMF, Scott, Rad Wheels, Vertec Pistons, DT1, air filters, and ODI grips, just to name a few. Again, back in the number 2 spot was the 31 of Chase Yenser out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. The Factory Cobra Fox Dunlop 100% PR2 Pro Taper 6D Cernix Racing back ride. Right now, Brown continues to hold down the point as we near the first lap of racing complete here. And I'll tell you what, this right here, again, kind of just early setting of the stage of what is about to unfold. We saw a great race in that Super Mini battle just a few moments ago, and we kind of can expect maybe to see a lot of the same situations arising here as we're starting to see that now. Brown a little bit of a lead out there, it looks like, as Ethan Mann now moves into the number 2 spot. Styles Robertson up to the number 3 spot as we've seen some changes already taking place. Russ Chapman in the 4th spot. Jace Kessler is 5th. There is the 31 of Chase Yenser, who was right there in contention behind Brown in the early part of this first lap of racing. Joe Shimoda running in the number 7 spot. Gage Stein, the 18, is 8th. Jake Trico, the 27 and 9th. Jackson Gray rounding out the top 10. Top 20 after that first lap. 11th was Dylan Swartz. Blake Fisher, 12th. Justin Kokinos in 13th. Caden Payne, 14th. Manuel Marino in 15th. Griffin Maxwell, 16th. Andrew Williams in 17th. Garrett Russell, 18th. Cole Harkins, 19th. And Luke Kalajian in the number 20 spot. That one right there, I'm sure we kind of butchered there a little bit, but what we're not butchering is what we're seeing on the screen right now, Wes Kane, and that is a great battle shaping up for that number 2 spot as Ethan the Man and Styles Robertson go at it for the number 2 spot right now. They were about 3 seconds behind Brown, who was your point leader out there, but wow, right here's where the race is, it seems like.
Well, I've seen Styles Robinson. He took a Moto win this morning, so he's got to be pumped up. Pierce Brown, downtown. He's the real deal, the 63 ride from Utah, Pierce Brown. This guy's been winning titles all out west, so he brings his skills down here to Loretta's. He is a force to be reckoned with. That's going to be the 63 of Pierce Brown. There's Ethan Mann. He came back. He was racing overseas.
Here comes Mann now. He's on the inside down there by the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com sweep return. That washboard sandy area there, and there goes Robertson now to the number 2 spot as Mann leaves the door open. You talk about threading needles and taking advantage of a situation, man. He went right on in and took the dive and took the spot.
Well, here he comes now. It's going to be Styles Robinson styling and profiling now as he went right up in there. Threw the elbow up, jumped right up in there. Now he's in second. 63 of Pierce Brown out front. So it's going to be Brown, Mann, Robinson. Robinson now shuffling the deck and moving into second. Chapman, Kessler, Yenser. That's his uncle that had Davey Yenser, pro rider over there out of, Mechanicsburg, or Shippensburg, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Shimoda, Stein, Tricoy, Gray, and Swartz all out there doing a great job. There's Justin Kokinas back there in the 44 machine, just out of the top 10.
He's 13th place. We'll keep an eye on the 44 machine as we're wrapping up lap 2. The new rundown. Brown now with a 4.9, let's call it 5-second lead over Robertson. 2:09.049 lap time. Robertson turned to 2:10, battling with Mann there for the number 2 position. We'll see if that changes and picks up any in the pace as far as these next laps coming up are concerned. But man, back in the number 3 spot, he turned to 212.123. Jace Kessler, the 51, a 216. There's 9 seconds back to that spot, another couple seconds back to Russ Chapman. Chapman was, I'm talking like less than a half second behind Kessler there at one point, but now he finds himself solid in 5th. And now it looks like Chase Yenser is starting to try to work back up. I think he would drop him off to 8th. He's back up to 6th now. A 2:19 lap time, a whole 10 seconds slower than the leaders. Man, you talk about a big difference in lap times through the field of these riders. It's pretty intense, but you got to take into account, you know, some of these riders are just getting adapted, like we said, to the 85s themselves. 9, 10, and 11-year-old class riders, and sometimes you get kids that excel in growth a little quicker than others do, and a little stronger, so it takes them a little longer to get their 85cc race leg, so to speak. So that might be why we see a little bit of that, but at the same time, the track, it's very tricky, it's very demanding out there. It might be another factor in why we see those different lap times, but I expect them to start to tighten up as this race wears on, and these riders all seem to be even out the playing field a little bit.
Well, here's your leader right there. We're watching him now, the 23 ride. In 2nd, that's going to be Styles Robinson. The 63 of Pierce Brown. We're going to get a GPS radar lock on him and find where he's at. But right now, we're looking at the 23 ride of Styles Robinson. Robinson now come along that 4-pack, right along the road. He's going to be right under the announce deck.
Wow, Pierce Brown, a 2:08.108 that last time around on lap 3. A 2:08.559 for Styles Robertson.
Not
blistering
much.
fast lap time, but 0.4 of a second slower. The gap now 5.3 seconds between 1st and 2nd, but still early in this moto right now as Mann runs consistently right around that 2:10 mark. He's now 3.8 seconds behind Robertson. Get this, though, Kessler 15 seconds back in the number 4 ride. Russ Chapman back in the number 5 ride. So these front 3, we've established them, it looks like, Wes. And at this point, I got to say it's going to take miscues on the part of any one of these 3 in order for us to see much of a change. Just simply looking at the lap times, leaders in 1st and 2nd, the 2:08 range. 3rd is in the 2:10. Then everyone else is 2:17 or more throughout the rest of the field. So a big diversity in the lap times, like we said, but that just goes to show you the cream can rise to the top, and the guys that work so hard often prevail out there. As we check back a little further in the pack, we got some battling going on. There's Russ Chapman. Chapman riding the number 29 machine. That 29 machine is out of Concord, North Carolina, riding the Mark IV Honda back Kawasaki. He's also backed by Fathead Racing, Maxima Oil, Factory Connection, Twin Air, and 100%. And making his way by, it looks like Joe Shimoda actually putting the pressure on him right now. Pressure is coming from 6th place ride. I thought we would see him putting pressure on Kessler, but it's actually Chapman feeling pressure from Shimoda, and Shimoda's on the outside. Now inside as he switches up from one side of the racetrack to the other now, and the battle is on for a top 5 ride here in the 85 9 to 11-year-old class. Our 12th race on the race docket if you're following along at home in your programs. And out there on that big washboard section, man, moguls are developing all through that area. And again, it seems like the lines change from lap to lap. So I don't think there's a consistent line that a rider can hit through that section of the race course, at least at this moment, that is going to either gain them lots of ground or lose them lots of ground. Either one, it's just a matter of luck of the draw, where you happen to be when you hit that one and what happened just with the riders ahead of you, I imagine.
Well, here they come now through that sweeper turn. I'm watching the 47 ride. That's going to be Joe Shimoda. So we got eyes on Shimoda now going at it with the 29 of Russ Chapman.
He solidified that pass. It looks like he's starting to stretch it out a little bit now over Russ Chapman. A 2.5-second gap is where they were at whenever they finished up lap number 3, with Shimoda now at the end of lap number 4 into the number 5 spot. He turned a 2:17.134. That gap from 1.5 seconds deficit now turns into 1.2 seconds to the positive for Shimoda, as Chapman now 1.2 seconds back in 6th. Chase Yenser running in the number 7 spot, another 5 seconds back. Justin Coquinos. Here's one to watch right here. We got another battle shaping up. The 44 machine. Remember, he was down, what, 14th place, I believe, at the end of that first lap. That rider now is up to an 8th place position, a second and a half behind Chase Yenser, the 31, pulling a full 3+ seconds faster lap time than Yenser. So, in theory, we should be seeing a great battle now shaping up between the 31 and 44 for 7th place.
There's the 51 ride. We're getting a look at that competitor over there, the 51.
Jace Kessler.
That's right. Kessler now looking pretty good as he heads out of the 10 Commandments into the back of Storyland. And you know about Storyland, what goes on back there? The family that's been there like forever?
Yeah, that's the family, and that's what we like to talk about. There's so much more. It's so fitting that a family name Story would actually be back there flagging, and we would call this place Storyland, and that's where so many stories are told. That's where so many championships have been won and lost back there. So many big passes taking place. It's just an amazing area of racetrack, and it's all probably in a matter of about 250 yards long if you were to lay it out straight. Storyland is a very storied place, and like you say, that family, I think there's like 4 different generations of stories actually flagging over there right now.
Wow, that's quite a story.
To say the least.
I'm telling you, but watch this guy right here.
Coquinos.
Yep, Coquinos out of that New England area over there.
He made the pass on Yenser. He did get him there, it looks like. So the 41 or the 44 machine getting around the 31 machine. And now we start to see things even more solid as these top 10 riders now making their way by the finish line for lap 5 complete. Brown, Robertson, Mann. 8.5 seconds now between Pierce Brown and Styles Robertson. Brown still in the 2:08 range. He was in the 2:07. Actually, a 2:07.316 is what posted the fastest lap. He has been running consistently right there in that 2:07, 2:08 range nearly every lap. Robertson was down in the 2:08 range for a bit. Now he's at the 2:10 mark with Ethan Mann now running 2:15 lap times. Looks like he has settled into his place. He's like, okay, I see where I'm at today. I'm going to take third. Not going to push the envelope too much. Just not going to let anybody push me at the moment. There comes the 31 we're watching on screen now from behind the billboard around the Yamaha mechanics area is Chase Yenser. He's now 3.2 seconds behind Justin Coquinos. Big change from just a lap ago. Dylan Swartz 4 seconds back behind him aboard the number 74. But here's another thing to watch out for. Swartz turning a 2:16 lap time in amongst 2:21s, 2:24s, 2:23s. Another rider to watch out for is back in 13th. Cody Groves, number 15, turning 2:18 lap times in amongst 2:47s and 2:22s. So some riders have still got some room to move up. It's just a matter of do they have the time to move up at this juncture in the race, Wes Kane, as things are going to run out quickly for these young 85, 9 to 11-year-old riders. There's your leader, the 63 of Pierce Brown.
Pierce Brown now carving his way through traffic as he sees the cross flags out, Rodney. Still got plenty of laps to go in this one, so there is room for Mann, Robinson, right, Kessler, all those guys, Coquinos, to make some more moves out there. But right now, it's all about the 63 ride of downtown Pierce Brown.
Good battling going on as Brown trying to slice and dice through some of that traffic there. Trying to make things happen as he's getting around the lapped riders as we speak. And as we speak, riders checking in with 6 laps. Brown now with a 5.8 second lead. Ooh, Brown actually with that lap traffic that he's trying to work through right now slowed his lap time down to a 2:12.079. Robertson kept a 2:09. That's the biggest, the first time we've seen Robertson turn a faster lap than Pierce Brown. And now we're seeing that gap close back down around the 5-second range. And Jason Wygant, I tell you, if this continues, if Robertson doesn't get slowed down and Brown continues to be slowed down by that lap traffic, we might be a little closer to seeing another one of those exciting last lap battles that we saw in that Super Mini class just a few moments ago.
Yeah, we did the pit stop here. They switched out announcers, got a fresh set of announcers in here. Jason Wygant taking the place of Wes Kane. Wes Kane had to be put down. Sorry. Try to revive him. Try to bring him back. All right, he's been revived. He's got some wings. He'll be back. He'll be back. 63, Pierce Brown in the lead. As you mentioned, Roddy, Styles Robertson coming through in a second. I believe Robertson actually raced a little bit earlier today. So probably experimenting with the track, seeing how much it's changed.
Wow. Every
You're
time
marveling at something.
I am. Those lines, those ruts through those turns, are just amazed at how defined they are. I mean, it's basically you stick a wheel in it, twist the throttle, and you've pretty much got that turn railed. I think at that point. Lay over and let the machine do all the work as the 63 of Pierce Brown doing the work right now as we wrap up lap number 7. Last time around, he turned a 212. Remember, he was consistently in the 207, 208 range. He's back down in the 210.5 range as we wait for Styles Robertson to make his way by for second spot. Now he got caught in that same trail of riders that Brown got caught on before the lap before. He slows his time down to a 212, so back to a 7.7 second gap. Brown's got this one, at least for the moment, still in the bag as Ethan Mann dropping back at the end of lap 6, some 17 seconds behind Robertson in the number 3 spot, and he's still comfortable back there in third. 21.5 seconds back. He turned a 2:16 lap time that time around, but remember, he had a 25 almost second lead over the 4th place ride at the end of that 6th lap. Now, I got to ask the question over in the Yamaha mechanics area, whenever you start looking at gaps and deficits like this, do you start telling your rider, this is Moto 1, let's just go ahead and let's settle with what we got instead of really pushing the envelope and making things happen? Let's just do what we're doing, especially if you're in the top 1, 2, or 3 spot. Oh, man, look at the smoke. I'm looking out on the track right now from out of the Under Armour.
Get it dialed, Ronnie. Come on.
The Under Armour Studios, and I'm watching this machine just smoke out there. So, and we can see it on the screen right there. That haziness is from one of those machines out there that is in the process of a blow-up.
Wow, right now. Yeah. Now, that's running very rich. A little bit too much oil. Maybe want to work on the jetting there.
Caden Metz all the way from Millville, California on a Supercross.com power curve backed machine.
Running the 1-to-1 oil to gas ratio, and rolling coal out there. 60. Pierce Brown. This is impressive, man. Obviously, we know the credentials of some of the other riders in this class, like Robertson and Mann, but Brown not even challenged at this moment.
Yeah, and I've seen Brown really making some marks over the course of the last few years, but I got to say that I'm as surprised as probably some other folks may be at just how exactly strong and consistent Brown has been. Maybe not strong and consistent, but just how quickly he jumped out to the front and how quickly he checked out. Not to saying that Brown had anything that wouldn't have indicated that he was capable of doing something like this. We just got to look at the competition that he's always riding amongst and knowing that his speed, this is really telling the tale of how hard this kid has worked this summer. And that's one thing that they could take from last year. They say that training starts the day after Loretta Lynn stops the year before, and it looks like he has been training some 360 days or so getting ready for this particular event. And that's exactly, and it's all paying off, man. It's all worked out for him.
Hey, I want to mention to the folks, during intermission, we were talking to Emil, the owner of Three Palms, and he mentioned the $100 Fast Lap Awards. We have our classes marked off. It will be in our 2-stroke BC class today. Fastest lap time in that 2-stroke BC class is going to get a $100 Visa card from the folks at Three Palms. That's, of course, the racetrack out in Texas. Also today, Mini Senior 1, which will be race 15. And race 17, girls 12 to 16. $100 Visa cards will be given out to the fastest lap times in those 3 classes today. 2-stroke BC, Mini Senior 1, and girls Senior 12 to 16. So big thanks to the folks at Three Palms. Handing some money over to the riders in the form of a Visa gift card, but you got to go fast to get it. And that'll be interesting to watch because we often do see fast laps turned in by a rider who does not win the Moto. I mean, that Super Mini race we just had is a perfect example. It was all over the map as far as the lap times and who was leading, who had falls. Here we're looking at a best lap time at the moment. I don't think it's a surprise. Pierce Brown, big lead, also has fastest lap of the Moto, a little over a 1-second gap on Styles Robertson as far as fastest lap. On the racetrack, about an 8-second lead for the number 63. Hey, race fans, you can register to win an Eric Buell Racing, that's EBR, 1190 RX motorcycle, valued at nearly $20,000. Visit the AMSOIL booth today. White flag, by the way, is out for Brown. Visit the AMSOIL booth today if you're here at the ranch, or racing.com if you're on the internet, and register to win that Eric Buell Racing 1190 motorcycle. That's pretty impressive. Got to remember, since 1972, when AMSOIL introduced, we got a rider off the track.
Ooh, that's the 31 of Chase Yenser, who was running, a solid top 10 there in the early part of the race. Now he is just slowly dropping through the field, so that's going to take him out of the hunt and running for the championship. But
and he has to deal with Megawatt.
Yeah.
If you saw that. Megawatt's the one pushing the bike off. He's got to deal with him. That's insult to injury. Just kidding, Megawatt. As I was saying, AMSOIL actually introduced the world's first synthetic motor oil that met API service requirements, and they've been the leader in synthetic lubricant technology ever since. AMSOIL offers a full line of synthetic lubricants for your bike, car, motorcycle, truck, ATV, and everything else that runs on an engine. AMSOIL. For any engine, go to AMSOIL.com.
25,000-mile oil changes too there, Jason White.
Yeah, you say go a whole year, right?
Yeah, I did that myself.
Did you?
Yeah, I had an oil burner, if you would. My machine was using a lot of oil, and I started using the AMSOIL product, and believe it or not, it conditioned my seals and everything to where things started tightening up. I still use a little bit, but probably a third of what I used to use before I started using the AMSOIL, and it gets better all the time. So I'm a firm believer in AMSOIL. It'll save you money in the long run, a lot of money, man.
Tighten up your seals and everything, but how's the car running?
Oh, like a champ, man. The car runs great. It's running so well, it's breaking the other parts on the car is what's happening.
It just outlasted the other ones.
The motor's going great. The rest of the thing's falling apart.
Brown, I think, has this one. He's got about 3 turns to go, and he's going to put in a dominant performance. Now, Robertson making a run here late. Chopped the gap from what was 9 seconds down to about 4.5. That was a bad lap for Brown. Do some lap traffic. You can see Robertson and the Kawasaki machine back there in some of the longer shots, but the problem for him is this moto is over. 63, Pierce Brown is going to take the victory here in the mini cycle 85 9-11 class.
Well, Styles Robertson tried a last lap push, 2-lap push.
Close.
2.5 seconds at the checkers. It was 12 seconds, I think, there at one point, or at least closer to 10, and now down to 2.5. So you can see Brown laxed a little bit. Robertson, he tried to pick it back up, but there it is. We see it, Pierce Brown, Styles Robertson going 1 and 2, and oh, man, see, that's how rough the track is. It'll kick you right out there into the swamplands if you aren't careful. And if you are careful, you might make your way up to the podium and get a hug from one of the KTM girls down there.
That's why I hosted opening ceremonies last night, just to get a hug from Christy LaCurl there of the Orange Brigade KTM. They are obviously a happy group with Pierce Brown putting that Orange Brigade machine up on the podium. They'll be a little bit less happy when they have to talk to Kevin Kelly down there. Just what you got to deal with. There he is. Styles Robertson, good run there in second. That'll set the stage for could be a good second moto.
So Ethan Mann does hold on to this one for third place. Get this, 43 seconds back to the number 3 spot. Yeah, that was a pretty big gap. But regardless, I saw Ethan Mann, what happened. Mann figured out what was going on right off the bat. Those guys were just riding the ragged edge. He says, hey, a third place is pretty doggone good in this first moto. I have nobody back behind me. I'm going to conserve some energy. And, if he's got another moto later today, that's going to pay huge dividends. And obviously, anytime that you can conserve energy, that should be able to pay huge dividends a little later down the road anyway.
Jace Kessler and Joe Shimoda will round out the top 5. We'll get the podium all set up with Mr. Kevin Kelly down there. Kevin, take it away when you have your chance.
Yes, sir. I'm waiting on my third place finisher, Mr. Ethan Mann, kind of sorting some stuff out. Ethan Mann, if you were down there, grab a slug of water, knock the boogers out of your nose, and come see me up here on the podium. I am a consummate professional, and I am waiting for Mr. Ethan Mann. Another great moto. Awesome to see Pierce Brown kind of rebound from his earlier moto in the morning. And here he is, folks. Put your hands together for our third place finisher, Mr. Ethan Mann. Little blonde-headed fella here. Come on over here to the center here, Ethan. Tell me about your ride. How'd it go for you?
Oh, it was good. I just got a solid start and just tried to ride my race. We got 3 motos. Anything can happen.
Hey, that's a great approach, man. Slow and steady wins the race. Who do you want to thank, Ethan?
My mom and dad, Fox, BTO, EBR, Shannon and I at AMX Schools, Scott, FMF, Renthal, Liquid Performance, and everybody else. Thank you.
Great work, folks. He's going to be your third place finisher, Mr. Ethan Mann. Nice work. Got his medal there. He is good to go. Come on up here, my second place finisher. Let's see Mr. Styles Robertson. The world's most unhappy second place finisher right here. This kid likes to win. I don't blame you, dude. The wife's going to be mad, not happy back there at the RV. Styles, tell me about that ride and make it fun and don't be so mad. Go.
I got off to a good start. Not what I wanted, but just tried to push, and the lappers are really bad. I don't know.
All right, man, we're going to remount. It's not the end of the world. You still got 4 more motos. Going to play a little Xbox, maybe hit the creek later on. No, he's going to go train. You're going practicing somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know. All right, there's that smile, buddy. Who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, my sister, the whole Monster Energy Kawasaki team, Ryan Holiday, Chappie, just everybody. Dunlop, One Industries, Alpine Star, Oakley, Dunlop, Rob Fox, and everybody over there, Cernic, and just everybody else. Thank you guys so much.
Good job, buddy. Turn that frown upside down. Styles Robertson's going to finish up second. Now we're going to bring up our Whole Shot Award winner, and guess what? He's also the Moto winner. Come on up here, Mr. Pierce Brown. What has Brown done for you? He is delivering championships. It's just too easy with your name. I got to run with that. Here, come on to this side right here. Put that around your neck, my man. And out of Utah, they're jumping in the streets. They are pumped. I've checked online, CNN. They're going crazy back home. They are excited for you. Hold that up there. Let everybody see that big check there. Little guy, big check. And Pierce Brown, tell me about that moto. How'd you work it out, buddy? Starting with a whole shot.
Yeah, I got the whole shot. That made it really easy on me. It was a pretty good race. I got the whole shot, then just went from there. Rode my own race after that.
Able to recover after this morning? You had a good moto going, huh?
Yeah, I had a good moto. I had some bad luck.
Well, that's what this place will do, man. It'll reach up and grab you every now and again, so nothing is safe here, huh?
Yeah.
Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank West Coast Chill, Thor Parts Unlimited, KTM Orange Brigade, Dunlop, Scott, Quick Roofing, KTM, FMF, Scott, Nihilo, everybody else, thanks so much.
Big smiles. The number 63 machine is your winner, folks. We'll toss it back up to the tower where Rod...